Welcome to this short video on infoForms. During the next few minutes, we'll show how we can collect information on an Android device and fill in an engineer's check sheet out on the road. So the first thing we do is log on with our infoForms app. Each user requires a password and logon details. Takes a moment to load up, and we now have our home page of the app, and we can now go to our forms library, second icon down, and we then see our display of forms. So the one we're going to fill in here is our engineer's daily worksheet. So we're going to start a new form. The first field is actually a sticky field, so it remembers the person who last filled the form in. But obviously we can choose from a list of names, or we can add one that isn't listed. So in this case, we'll fill the form in as Pete Rogers. We can now enter the registration. We can fill in the date. And we can now fill in our vehicle check sheet. Now we've got a problem with the windscreen, so we'll add some more details about that in a minute. So are there any defaults? Yes, in this case there are. So we can list the default crack in windscreen. And we can even take a photograph. So we're going to take a picture of the room I'm in here. I haven't got my car in front of me. And we can annotate that as well. So perhaps if we want to draw attention to a particular problem, we can annotate that. So once we're happy with that, we save it. And we can now add details about each customer we're visiting. And this is done as a subform, so we can keep adding as many subforms as we need to during the day. So we can add the customer's name. We can add their address. And we can add various other pieces of information here. We can add the start time of the job and the finish time of the job. How the customer paid. The amount they paid. We can add a job number. And we can add the customer's signature. And potentially we could add another subform now for the next visit the customer, the engineer does. And you can see our subform now at the bottom. So we can now go on to the next page. And this is basically the engineer finishing the submission, acknowledging that the form is correct and signing it at the end of the day. So we're going to say I agree, and we sign off. The last thing we do is submit the form, and the form and all the data and the media then goes up to our cloud server, and that is then available for loading into our back-end document management system. We can even kick off emails with the form, and in a second we'll have a look at that. Okay, so now we'll log into the infoForms portal, and we'll have a look at the document we just submitted. So in the home screen here we can see recent activity, and we can see what forms have been submitted and how many have been submitted. And if we look below, we can see under recent submissions, we can see the one that we just completed. So if we click on that, we can see all the information relating to that form. So all of the fields that we filled in, including the photograph that we took, and then the customer details, customer signature, and finally the engineer's signature at the end. Now all of that information is available for us to pick up either as a PDF, which is useful obviously if we're going to send it by email to somebody, or perhaps put it into a document management system or a workflow. But we can also pick up all of that data and write it into spreadsheets, databases, or back-end business systems of some description. So let's have a quick look at the PDF version of that document. So again, all that information is available in a single PDF document. So actually a really useful way to share that information with a third party. We can also kick off emails. So if I look in my Outlook client here, again, you can see the report attached. In this case with the PDF document, again, attached to the email. But basically at Document Genetics, we can write interfaces to connect infoForms to virtually any back-end process that you may have. And part of our expertise is to be able to develop connectors very quickly to your back-end processes. We hope this demo has been useful.